hope you're all doing well and that school isn't too bad. It's nearly holidays, so just hold on tight. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Bridget, and I'm so excited to be sharing the story of how Isaac found a wife. And this is taken out of the book of Genesis, chapter 24. And basically, it's amazing to see how the story unravels, because you get to see how the Lord was just there, intertwined in the decision making of Isaac's wife, and how he was there from the start to the beginning to the middle to the in-between places. The Lord was just in between all of those places, and it's really just amazing to see, because we get to see the amazing outcome that came when Isaac eventually found a wife. So today, as I said, it's coming out of Genesis chapter 24, and it starts off with Abraham being quite old. So just imagine this, an old, frail man is quite old, and it's quite crazy to think that Abraham would be the descendant of all the nations to come. And it's amazing just to see that this old man could be the descendants of all the nations to come. So that means he would be related to Jesus. And that's quite crazy to think this old, frail man is related to Jesus, who is this powerful, almighty person. And we just get to see how that unravels. And so Abraham, being very old, he couldn't go on a long adventure and go and look for the perfect wife for Isaac, because Isaac was Abraham's oldest son. And so therefore he needed to carry on the family name. And he needed to carry on the family name so that there could be descendants of the whole wide world. And so Abraham then decided to send his servant to go and find the perfect wife for Isaac, and a wife that was a believer, so she loved the Lord, and a wife that had humility, had a servant's heart, and a wife that was willing to leave all her family, everything that she knows, and go and live where Isaac and Abraham lived, and just leave the family behind. So that's quite a big ask, and it's quite scary to think. So the servant needed to find a faithful and godly woman that loved the Lord and would be a wife to Isaac. And so the servant goes on his merry way. At first he was very, very nervous and a little bit skeptic about Abraham's orders to find a wife, because he was like, I don't think any woman I know would want to leave her family and go and live in some strange land. But then Abraham reminded the servant of all the promises that the Lord had fulfilled, and how faithful the Lord really is, and what the Lord had been doing in Abraham's life. And so the servant eventually agreed, after hearing all these miracles that happened and that the Lord performed, and he went on his merry way, and he took 10 camels, so quite a bit, like a long way, and he traveled a very, very long way. Eventually he got quite tired and thirsty, because it's hot and it's a long, tiring journey. So he got very hot, and he decided to stop there at the well, at the water, the spring water. And he therefore decided, okay, since this is a very, very big decision, I better commit this to the Lord. Just like I said, the Lord was intertwined in the story from the start to the beginning. And the servant bowed down at the well, and he prayed. And basically he prayed Genesis, you can find his prayer in Genesis 24 verse 26 to 27, and it reads as follows. The man bowed his head and worshipped the Lord and said, Blessed be the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, who has not forsaken his steadfast love and his faithfulness to my master. As for me, the Lord has led me in the way to the house of my father's kinsman. So basically, he prayed and he asked just for the Lord to be in this decision. And he also asked for the Lord to reveal who Isaac's wife was to be while he was there at the well. And there comes Rebecca. How amazing is that? The Lord provided. Rebecca comes, and the servant, being very tired and seeing if this woman is really a woman of God, and the woman that would be perfect for Isaac to marry, he asked Rebecca to go and fetch the camels, the 10 camels. Remember, he had big camels, so 10 camels, some water, and also him some water. And eventually Rebecca Rebecca willingly went, and she was this beautiful woman, and she had a beautiful heart too, so she was beautiful inside and out. And she went and she collected this big bucket of water, because remember, this is in the olden days, so they didn't have running taps like glasses and stuff like that. They had big buckets of water. So she just went and she picked up this huge bucket of water with all her strength, and she was struggling a little bit, but she still did it because she had such a servant heart, and her heart was just beautiful. So she took up the bucket and she gave it to the camels, and she gave it to the servant, and she was just very, very pleasant and very kind. And eventually she saw that the servant looked quite tired, and she invited him for supper. And she didn't know this man at all. She just invited him. And eventually the servant met the whole of Rebecca's family, and he even met Rebecca's brother, Laban. And basically the servant was talking to Laban, Rebecca's brother, and was saying how his journey was going and how he came to meet Rebecca. And eventually in conversation, the servant realized that really Rebecca is supposed to be Isaac's wife, just the way that the Lord revealed to him throughout the process. And Laban, Rebecca's brother, agreed, and Rebecca went on her merry way, and she went to go and meet Isaac. And so just think about this. Rebecca, this amazing woman of God, because remember, her family were believers, and she loved the Lord too. She loved the Lord with everything. She served the Lord, and she had a beautiful heart, and she was beautiful inside and out. So she went, and she just went and followed the servant to go and marry Isaac. So she left all her family, she left everything she knew, and she went to go and marry Isaac. And as soon as Rebecca saw Isaac, it was love at first sight. How amazing is that? I mean, it just goes to show that if you really commit the Lord to your decision process, and from the start to the beginning to the end to the middle, everywhere, that the Lord will really bless you in everything and in the outcome to come. And we just see that the way that Isaac and Rebecca had a happy marriage, and how they eventually led to carrying on the family name, and it led to Abraham being the descendant of many people, as much as there are stars in the sky. And we basically see how that happens. And through Rebecca and Isaac, they had a child, and obviously that family legacy carried on, and that led to the Messiah. And that's how Jesus came. And that's amazing, because we get to see that from the start to the end, Rebecca and Isaac really were blessed, because the decision making in finding Isaac a wife was just committed to the Lord, and it was just given to the Lord. And we see how the amazing nations were blessed to come, and how eventually that led to Jesus dying on the cross for us, and how we can be here today and be in a relationship with the Lord. And that's just amazing. I mean, don't you guys think that's just amazing, that if you commit your decision process to the Lord, that a good outcome will happen, because you know that the Lord has blessed it every single way. And so I just want to share some verses with you, and I want to share 1 Peter 2 verse 9 to 10, and it says, "But you are chosen. You are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for his own possession, that you may proclaim the excellence of him who called you out of the darkness into his marvelous light. Once you were not a people, but now you are God's people. Once you have not received mercy, but now you have received mercy." And so that's just a verse just to encourage you guys that you are a child of God. If you believe that Jesus is the Lord and Savior of your life, and he is the Lord and Savior and the Son of God, then you are a child of God. And how amazing is that? How amazing is that we get to have a relationship with the Lord? And I hope you guys will take this story into your everyday lives, and just commit your decision to the Lord every step of the way. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you have a fantastic week, and that you have a good holiday eventually to come. It's nearly there. Just hold tight. It's going to come really quickly. And yeah, I will be praying for you guys, and yeah, have a great week. Bye, guys.